Good day, everyone. I am Nick Andre Guadiana, and my topic under Lesson 4 Evaluation of Classroom Instruction is categories for evaluation. Now, there are 4 areas or categories for evaluation. This is on the part of the teacher. So, these are the areas subject for scrutiny during observation of classroom instruction. First, the content-related. Second, instruction-related. Third, climate-related. Fourth, classroom-related. Now, content-related, this is mastery of subject matter. Teachers must have a thorough understanding of the subject matter they are teaching, including key concepts, theories, and content structure. Teachers should strive for a clear and concise explanations of complex topics, using examples and analogies to reinforce understanding. Second, instruction related, this is about methods and strategies. Now, utilizing a variety of teaching methods, example, direct instruction, inquiry-based learning, cooperative learning. This is to accommodate different learning styles and enhance student engagement. So, teachers should be able to use, a variety of methodologies and strategies. Third one is climate-related. This is about the physical and socio-emotional environment. Now, climate-related teaching behavior, this refers to the practices and attitudes of educators that foster an inclusive, supportive, and positive learning environment in the classroom. This encompasses how teachers establish relationships with students, manage classroom dynamics, and create a culture conducive to learning. Fourth is the classroom management related. Classroom management related teaching behavior encompasses the strategies and practices educators use to maintain a productive and orderly learning environment. Now, effective classroom management is essential for fostering student engagement, minimizing distractions, and promoting positive behaviors. Now, let's move on to teaching competencies. Now, this is how to be an effective and efficient teacher. First, of course, you have to have great communication skills. Communication skills, it is a process that involves the use of verbal and non-verbal language to stimulate and maintain student interest as well as facilitate the teaching learning process. So you can't be an effective teacher if you have poor communication skills. Teachers should be able to provide clear explanations of the concepts or lessons they are teaching. And it's just not being able to just talk and talk. You have to have a commanding speaking ability to make sure you capture students' interest and sustain it. So make sure you are being listened to. Communication skills are essential for teachers for a variety of reasons, as they play a crucial role in the educational process. So first reason is for effective instruction. As what I've said, teachers should be able to provide clear and comprehensive explanations of complex topics. Another is for building relationships. So strong communication skills enable teachers to build positive relationships with students. This helps create a supportive and inclusive learning environment where students feel heard and valued. Another is for engagement and motivation. Effective communication can engage students and motivate them to participate actively in their learning. So through enthusiasm and clarity, teachers can inspire students to take an interest in the subject matter. Next is feedback and assessment. Now, communication is vital for providing constructive feedback to students. Clear and specific feedback guides students on areas for improvement and encourages their academic growth. Another reason also is conflict resolution. So teachers with strong communication skills are better equipped to handle conflicts and difficult situations. So whether they arise between students or in addressing parental concerns. Effective communication helps mediate disputes and fosters a collaborative atmosphere. Also, for collaboration with colleagues, communication is very important, and for parental involvement. Second teaching competency is instructional skills. Now, these skills pertain to the ability of the teacher to use a repertoire of instructional strategies that lead students to be involved actively in the learning process. So this means the teacher should use a wide variety of strategies and methods to cater the different learning styles of the students. Another teaching competency is organization and planning. The organization of content, materials, and methods of classroom instruction requires careful planning. Lesson plans developed by teachers contain student learning objectives, instructional procedures, required materials, and written description of how the students will be evaluated. So in other words, this is very basic. This is lesson planning. Fourth teaching competency is the mastery of the subject matter. Now, you cannot give what you do not have. So if a teacher does not know the subject matter thoroughly, he or she cannot be of much help to students, basically. Fifth is the evaluation skills. Classroom evaluation serves as a meaningful source of information for helping students learn. It is an integral part of the instruction process. Because classroom assessment directly relates to instructional goals, the teacher can use the evaluation results to determine whether the concepts and skills emphasized during instruction were understood or not. So in effect, an assessment conducted at the end of the lesson is an evaluation of the quality of the teacher's performance. Evaluation's results can be used as basis for improving instruction through further clarification, additional explanation, or sometimes even reteaching. Classroom management includes all of the things a teacher does in pursuit of two important objectives. First, to foster student involvement and cooperation in all classroom activities. Second, to establish a productive working environment in the classroom. To achieve these twin objectives, it is important for a teacher to make sure that before instruction takes place, there is all-around readiness in terms of the room, activities, materials, and more importantly, the students. Readiness requires planning and organization, which according to the CON Instructional Management are crucial interrelated concepts that set the stage for effective classroom management. The smooth transition of one learning activity to another or lesson movement emphasizes the strong relationship between effective management and effective instruction. To this extent, it can be argued that classroom management is one dimension of effective teaching that is highly dependent on other dimensions like planning, instructional skill, communication skill, and teachers' attitudes. So for instance, failure of the teacher to plan and design appropriate instructional tasks may cause high incidence of discipline problems in the classroom. Lack of motivational skills and variety in strategies and techniques may result in the lack of interest in the subject matter or boredom even that may eventually lead to problems in managing the class. 7 is the attitudes that promote learning. Teaching competency largely depends on the teacher's personality traits, beliefs, desires, and motivations. It also largely depends on the teacher's inclusion in the observation process. Is necessary as it influences effective teaching. Some of the suggested attitudes and behaviors of the teachers that promote learning and create proper climate in the classroom include high expectations, enthusiasm, concern for children, openness to student inquiry, fairness, humor, sensitivity to the needs and concerns of students, and decisiveness. So the incorporation of the teacher's persona in the assessment is a recognition that teaching is indeed a complex act, which is based on the art of teaching perspective. High expectations, enthusiasm, and openness to student inquiry, which are important distinguishing characteristics of successful teachers, are difficult to assess and may require artistic judgment, which to a large extent is a subjective process. Let us move on to the evaluating beginning teachers and evaluating marginal teachers. Cangellosi of 1991 maintains that the most challenging and difficult evaluations are those involving beginning and marginal teachers. Undoubtedly, as mentioned in Chapter 3, for majority of teachers, the first 3 years of their professional careers are the most significant, challenging, and threatening. It is during these early years that neophyte teachers try to adapt to their new career and working environment without the benefit of a wealth of professional experiences on which to base their decisions. They have to struggle to prove that they can survive in the classroom, as well as to prove their worth to students, parents, colleagues, and administrators. They do not enjoy security of tenure, which is a cause of instability. Given all these conditions, beginning teachers are generally occupied with feelings of doubt and fear of inadequacy. These feelings are compounded by a heavy workload and additional assignments that neophyte teachers are not prepared to handle because of their lack of experience. These problems and concerns will impact the evaluation of classroom performance. New teachers who are having adjustment problems and are not given support and encouragement by experienced teachers and supervisors are more likely, compared to seasoned teachers, to be less effective in the classroom. Consequently, they leave the profession in favor of non-teaching jobs. This is true even for born teachers who are easy to identify, for they usually stand out. Sometimes non-instructional expectations such as those involving personal relations with colleagues and administrators might result in their dismissal. In addition, perceptions about the lack of support for excellent teaching and high professional standards may be sources of disenchantment and frustration that may eventually force even the born teachers to change career. Let's now move on to the evaluation of marginal teachers. The term marginal teachers typically refers to educators who may not fully meet the expectations or standards of effective teaching. This can encompass a range of issues such as lack of experience, inadequate subject knowledge, ineffective teaching methods, or insufficient engagement with students. The more problematic area is distinguishing between the potentially competent and the misplaced individuals. There is a need to differentiate between potential for success and potential for failure. The misplaced individual, if allowed to go on without any drastic intervention measures, which are usually costly both emotionally and physically, will perpetuate instructional incompetence that would be difficult to reverse as time goes by. This has dismissal consequences because instructional incompetence is a disservice to the community and taints the teaching profession. Besides, allowing teachers who are instructionally incompetent to continue teaching encourages them to stay on in the profession, and in the process prevents them from seeking more satisfying careers for themselves. So on the other hand, the presence of potentially competent teachers who are not identified and given the necessary direction, guidance, and support may result in either perpetuation of ineffective teaching in the classroom or erroneous termination. The first consequence will hurt both the teacher and the school, while the second may ruin potentially satisfying careers that may eventually translate to the loss of a valuable resource for the school and the teaching profession.